What's down with the YouTube? Today we are going to be reacting to the overpriced car epidemic. Look, I'm not gonna lie. So I don't know many people in person who take like these crazy car notes or buy these crazy cars, but I think that's mostly because we're really young. I'm only 22. All my friends are around my same age. So we haven't really got into the age of like just buying a whole bunch of cars or just buying a whole bunch of overpriced cars. Now, what I will say is that I know a lot of older people and they definitely do this. They'll walk around with these $1,000 notes, and quite personally, I never understood it. The only note that I ever paid was on my car, which is a Charger, and I only paid like $200. So that didn't break the bank too much, but I ain't gonna lie. Oh, I got a story time. I do have another partner. He got a Challenger. Now keep in mind, he got this Challenger, a Scat Pack wide body, while we was working at Raising Cane's. And I remember him telling me, I don't want to. Well, most of the people who watch me ain't gonna know who he is, but he was telling me his note was like $800. And I remember thinking, like, we make the same thing at Cane's. Like, dang, brother, like, it's kind of steep. So some people don't mind. Some people don't mind paying them big car notes. Me personally, I'm not one for it. But you know, everybody has their own prerogative. Everybody's gonna do what they want. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into this video by Bladed Angel. We already left a like, and yeah, let's get into it.
If you thought car prices were insane in the overpriced car epidemic, wait until you see the overpriced truck epidemic. The average truck payment as of 2023 was a whopping $913, with 20% of buyers in 2026.
If I'm not mistaken, aren't pickup trucks like the most popular car in America? I'm not sure if that's like an accurate stat, but I remember hearing that from somewhere. And quite personally, I don't understand why, because I always thought trucks was ugly. And I understand the utility functionality of them. But personally, I don't ever want to be the type of guy who is pulling stuff with his truck or doing real work with his vehicle. Like, I just want my vehicles to look good and have all the amenities in it that I need. As far as all that other stuff, you can keep it.
Now even taking $1,000 plus monthly payments on new vehicles. This is even sadder when paired with down payments being at one of their lowest points in recent history.
I ain't gonna lie. Y'all could see from this cutout of the video. A $6,000 down payment and $1,000 car payment is quite literally insane. Now look, I get it. Like, you might not want to put all your capital down on a car. That's understandable. But at the same time, bro, like $1,000 car note, maybe it's just because financially I've been taught so differently. But I would never, ever, not in a million years, take $1,000 car note. Now, like, 400-500, while on the, more expensive side, that's probably the max that I would go. You know what I mean? So I don't know, bro. I would just try to avoid $1,000 car notes, because honestly, this is a trap. All they gonna think when you do $1,000 car note is that you can't pay it, and eventually you're gonna have to, pay the bank interest. So they're gonna prove you, like, bro, we already know how this game goes.
So despite people getting more expensive cars than ever, payments are getting higher than ever, interest is getting worse than ever, people are actually shelling out less cash off rip, meaning longer loan durations, even worse interest.
Did that say 68 months? Okay, 68 months would be like 5.5 years. I think it took me like maybe 3 or 4 years to pay my car off. So I ain't gonna lie, 5 years is a little crazy. I guess it depends on how much it costs. I don't think 5 years to pay off a car is realistically that bad if the note is not that bad. Now, if you're paying $1,000 car note for 5 years, yeah, but you might have to look at yourself about that one.
And it screws all of us responsible buyers out of a chance of buying a truck at a reasonable price, because these idiots are emboldening dealerships, manufacturers, and banks to continue to mark up car prices and truck prices, because why bother settling for responsible people when you can keep selling these Balmungs who don't have a developed prefrontal cortex a truck that is way out of their means? Gonna
No, see, and that's the thing I don't understand. Like I said, bro, I had a partner buy a Scat Pack while we were working at Raising Cane's. And it's like, I get it. You want the car, you want the vehicle, bro, but don't put yourself in a hole over the vehicle. You don't want to be, like, I've heard the term, like, house rich. You got a really expensive, nice house, but you can't afford anything else. Don't be car rich, too, because even to go back, bro, like I said, we was making the same thing. We was making $12 an hour. We worked 40 hours. Our check was like $500, $600. You know what I mean? You gonna pay an $800 car note, you got $400 left. Now keep in mind, this is a Scat Pack, meaning that you're gonna be at the gas pump every 2 days too. Realistically, how are you gonna afford that car if you don't go to work every single day? You know what I mean? Now he has a better job now. It worked out for him, but again, don't put yourself in a hole. Don't spend money before you get it. You know what I mean? Because it might not work out like it did for my partner.
Are the blue-collar workhorses of yesteryear, and taking their place are these massive loaned bank-owned pavement princesses. No hate to anyone who actually needs a truck for their work, or if you just have yours paid off. Y'all were never the ones in the reticle. After all, you know exactly who we're gonna make fun of today.
What's your car payment and what do you drive?
$1,342, and I drive.
God. 1,300? What did he put down? Like nothing? Did he put nothing down? I mean, realistically, like, I guess if you make 6 figures a year and you get a deal to put nothing down, $1,000 a month really isn't that bad. I don't know. I think it's just something about my soul that just would never like to see $1,000, $1,300 at that come out my account simultaneously every single month. You know what I mean? That's a bill that's not rent, and I know does not have to be there. Yeah, I couldn't do it.
I have a Silverado 3500 HD.
You drive?
$700 a month. I drive a Chevy Silverado half-ton 2022.
I drive a 2024 Chevy Silverado 1500 Black Widow, and my car payment's $610 a month.
These comments say what we've all been saying in our minds.
And people agree with me. Anything over 500 is crazy. Like, in person, no, I ain't gonna lie. I definitely know, like my father, his nose is 800. So I know somebody who did that, but 10 out of 10 would, 0 out of 10 would not recommend.
All these guys driving huge trucks to commute to sales jobs. And genuinely, why do all these desk job dealership MFs need a huge pickup truck, especially one with prices north of 80 grand to even $100,000, because that's the only way they're getting $1,000+ a month payments. I still cannot get over how normalized it is.
$2,700 a month. This dude's car notice. What did he buy? Bro, car must have been like 200 grand. What? Can somebody enlighten me? What car would warrant a car note of $2,700 a month? At that point, I would be thinking you're getting like I don't know, like probably not a Bugatti, because they like $1 million. But is you getting a Lamborghini, bro? Like, what are you driving? Before we start the video, because like realistically, let's take it down, because obviously, you know, when you do a car note, they're gonna try and get the worth of the car plus a little bit of interest. For $2,700 a month, that means you are paying like over 25 grand a year times 5 years. What is that? That's 100 grand. So I guess maybe if you got a car that was like 80 grand and then you didn't put anything down, that might make your car note that. I wouldn't do it though.
for truck payments to just cost this much now. And since this is a TikTok dealership page and I've played these games before, I do gotta mention that this clip, there's a chance it might just be rage bait, or even worse, it's trying to normalize higher numbers for impressionable youth who are scrolling by this, who have no frame of reference of what they should be paying. And you'd be surprised how Googling what the normal car payment is becoming a thing of the past, because there are unironically people on TikTok who ask other TikTokers for car payment advice, and this is the worst place to ask for that advice. And this girl actually must have rolled a luck stat 20 because she actually got good responses here, because unironically you just get a lot of predatory dealers who will also slide into your comments or DMs and show you stuff like this. And that's
$750 for a 2018 Honda Accord. Oh my god. How much do Honda, a 2018 Honda Accord? Let's look up how much a 2018 Honda Accord would cost. So, yeah, so obviously it's one in my city for $15K. Brother. And they said it was $750. $750. Bro, if you do the math behind that, let's actually get in the calculator, so y'all know I'm not saying nothing wrong. If you do 750 times 12, that's 9K. Meaning, hypothetically, let's just do 750 times, it would be 18. So maybe not 18, 7. Okay, so that's 20 months. So hypothetically, you could pay this car off in less than 2 years if you was paying $750, meaning that you would have to put nothing down. If that was the situation you were in, that's quite literally ridiculous.
their goal. They're trying to normalize these payments. That way people go, oh, well, I guess paying $1,000 a month is fine because everyone else is doing it. And by the way, speaking of payments, I already mentioned this in my stupid car buyer epidemic, but I'll briefly state it here too. Don't ever base an entire vehicle purchase on the monthly payment. That is not at all how it works. I will not repeat myself here, so I highly recommend you watch that video after this one to see how rapidly interest can screw over the price. Genuinely, I'm still sick of these insanely high prices. Like, we all thought this would be a relic of the 2020 to 2022 era, and surely things would get better. But unfortunately, from the global pandemic to the chip shortage to then the tariffs of last year, something new kept popping up to just push these bad boys to the stratosphere. On to chapter 1.
And then do y'all just not care?
His trick off. There's no way you're getting this trick a first time buyer. Do you know how much you're looking to put down?
I was probably going to sell my Tacoma, use it as a down payment.
Do you owe anything on it?
No, it's paid off. What would the monthly be on the Rebel?
You might be looking around $1,200 a month.
$1,200 a month.
Yes. Where do you work at?
I'm a freelance photographer, full time.
Okay. How much is your monthly income?
Good months I can make $7,000. Bad months I make like $3,000.
I'm still pressed over how trucks went from being an icon.
Brother, if you have a car and the car works completely fine, it is quite literally one of the most unintelligent decisions you can make to trade it in and get something that's completely unnecessary. You know, unless you are like, you know, retire and you feel me, you just want to get whatever you want. But if you're young and you just get in the car just because, that is quite literally one of the dumbest decisions that you can make, bro. Especially if your car is paid off. Now you just creating a bill if you don't have to. The only situation I can see you like legitimately doing that is maybe if like your car is, you know, starting to wear down, you feel me, it doesn't have AC, this breaks. At that point, then yeah, maybe trade it in. But if your car is in perfectly fine condition, bro, don't trade your car in so you could just pick up a $1,200 note. Like, bro, if you wanted to pick up maybe a $400, you know what I'm saying, $300, $200 note, Man, I get that. Not 1,200, bro.
Iconic working man's vehicle to these glorified suburban status symbols driven by people whose trucks have never seen a speck of dirt a day in their life. Then you have these delusional losers.
That's what I don't get either, bro. Why do some of y'all get trucks to like never do anything with them? I mean, I feel like that's the whole purpose of a truck. And I don't know. Maybe, I mean, everybody's entitled to like what they like, but I just always thought trucks was super ugly. Like, I mean, yeah, it gives you that look of being like a real man. But I just never thought that, like, for, like, picking up somebody or, you know, trying to go wild and people say, ooh, look at that vehicle. It's just never going to be a truck for me. You know what I mean? It has to be a super, super nice truck for me to ever think that.
In the comments, you throw out the typical phrase of, that's your money, you worked hard for it, spend it how you want. It is not their money, it is the bank's money. They wouldn't be making monthly payments if it was their money that they spent. You would have only paid once if it was your money. Why do I have to keep explaining to these TikTok balmungs and troglodytes?
Hey, you know what's crazy, bro? Now, like I said, I got a Charger when I think I was like 17 or 18. But, like, I didn't know that, like, monthly payments was a thing, which I feel like is excusable because, I mean, I never had to purchase anything at that age. But, bro, when I figured out all I had to do was save a little bit of bread and then I could put this money down and my payment would be like $200. Oh, bro, I was at work every day trying to save them couple of bands. But, again, the difference between me and these people is, like I said, I saved up for a car note to be $200, not for a car note to be $1,200.
What a loan is. A loan is taking out money you don't have to buy things you don't need to impress people you don't even like and will probably forget you the moment they scroll 2 TikToks away or 2 Instagram reels away. I'm not joking.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. That might be one of the realest statements that I have ever heard, bro. You saving up when you get monthly payments on something. You're buying something that you don't need with money that you don't have to impress people who don't care. Okay? It's not even just with cars, man. Even when y'all do that stuff with like Corny or that Afterpay stuff and you legitimately don't have the bread, bro. Again, you are using money that you don't have to buy stuff that you probably don't need to impress people who will not care. Just let that sit in your head. And the next time you think about buying something just for the flex, bro, think about that. Now, if you need it, like if you need to split up your grocery payment and that's the only way you're going to eat, by all means, do that. But if you're doing that so you could buy that new Chrome Hearts jacket, like a lot of y'all do, look at yourself in the mirror.
About that, there's so many videos that are like, hey, tell me the last reel you saw from 2 reels ago. You'd be surprised how much doom scrolling actually just flies out of your head. So like these people are literally trying to impress that kind of audience, the audience that discards them from their memory 1 minute to 2 minutes later. I'm going to reel myself a bit in so I don't go off topic, and I also do want to mention I actually don't hate everyone who takes out a loan, especially younger Gen Z. I forgive them because in the current state of the economy, they literally don't have money, and a lot of them didn't get to work summer jobs in high school because COVID was a thing while they were in high school. Speaking of pandemic...
Hey, that is not true. I got my job in the height of COVID. You know, I started, Canes, the job I was just talking about. COVID had just hit. We had just got out of school, and I got that job 2 months into the height of COVID. COVID did not stop anybody from getting a job. Maybe if their parents stopped them from going, but I know several people who got jobs during COVID because we had nothing else to do. So don't use COVID as a crutch. And a lot of people during COVID, that was the only time they had bread. We all know this, but we don't gotta get into that.
We gotta do something about that ship. Us Gen Z cannot live through another global pandemic. The 2020s have already been so cooked. Please have mercy on our soul. Anyways, So they are forced to take a loan on their very first vehicle ever because of how stupidly expensive cars are now. So if you're someone who's buying an A to B device, there's a huge difference between someone who's loaning something reasonable that will be paid off in a few years versus these losers taking 100 grand plus loans on a truck they didn't even need. That's absolutely not in the same universe of stupidity. Even leasing something, by the way, isn't as brain dead as some of these loans are, since at least the dealership takes care of the vehicle's maintenance with a full warranty that doesn't delay on major repairs, since the dealer is going to get the car back and they're incentivized to actually take care of it. I'm not a financial advisor, but there are plenty of people in that field who are far smarter than I am, who you can watch guides on how to lease vehicles intelligently. Thankfully, the rest of the comments aren't lobotomized, like this guy below. $930 on a base model. Damn, that's right. Imagine paying nearly a band per month on a base model truck. That shit's sad. And I love each and every one of you guys who remind people like this. This is a Ford. $80,000 for a Ford. A Ford. This is wild. It's ridiculous. I have a Ford, by the way, for any newcomers watching. I don't hate the brand, and just like Zach and Caleb both mention a lot on their channels, I have zero problem with whatever car you like if you can actually afford it. Who cares about its brand, its model year, what type of vehicle it is, all right? I paid 27 grand for mine 8 years ago. I'm blessed that during my entire adult life, I've never known a car payment for almost a decade now, and I continue to plan to never know a car payment for the rest of my life, and I encourage most of you do it too. The guy below further highlights this by going, no mercy.
Now, I don't know about never having a car payment. I'll probably have another car payment because, I mean, at a certain point, we do got to acknowledge the fact that you do have to build credit, you know, but we want to build credit in a smart way. We want to build credit to put ourselves in a hole, you know, and then sometimes, you know, you're going to need different things to boost your score up a little higher, you know, if you weren't fortunate enough to build it coming up. But, yeah, like how you just said he got his car for 27 grand, you know what I'm saying? Probably had a minus a little payment and stuff, bro. That's the way to go, bro. But yeah, if you actually have the money, get whatever you got or get whatever you want. But don't be buying stuff you can't afford. Shouldn't that be common sense? Shouldn't it be common sense not to buy stuff that you can't afford?
Mercedes or BMW 80 grand, sad face, really showing off how ridiculous this is for people with functioning prefrontal cortexes. We are normalizing non-luxury brands to now be luxury brand prices. I don't care how big these vehicles are. We've made huge vehicles in the past before. Trust me, the material cost is not why we're marking these bad boys up. They didn't cost $80,000 to $100,000 then, so why are we making them cost that much now? And no, it's not inflation. We've discussed that in the previous video. I'm telling you, shaming works. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, good friends don't let their friends spend $2,000+ a month for a Ford. Great friends don't even let their friends spend $1,000 a month for these things. Anyways, moving on to chapter 2.
Think Jerry Lane Cadillac only does new? Think again. Our pre-owned inventory gets the full treatment. Inspections, full service, extended warranties. Come see.
Because she doesn't believe in used cars.
And just when you think we're making progress, you find others going, $1,000 isn't bad if it's fully loaded. Pay for what you want. Having said that.
Oh, wait. I'm going to say this, though. If it truly is what you want and you can afford it, I don't think it's that bad. Like, the guy, the example that happened earlier with a guy who made like 7 bands a month. If he want to pay $1,000 a month note and he's completely happy with it, I say he should do it. If it's legitimately what he wants. Now, if he's just doing it just to keep up with the Joneses, obviously not. But, you know, if it's something he's truly going to enjoy, I don't see a problem with it. But, again, the main thing in that, if you can afford it.
We gotta stop giving these dealerships power. These people need to control their desire. I want an F-16 Fighting Falcon in my backyard, but you don't see me taking a huge loan on it. Each time a loser signs off on these stupid loans, it makes it harder for the rest of us to buy vehicles at reasonable prices, since we're competing with Dumb and Dumber here. I hate that life is now glorifying hedonism and giving in to wants and desires instead of realizing that true happiness and true fulfillment comes from delaying gratification. I'm not saying you can't have nice things, but please don't ruin your life for temporary pleasure at the cost of long-term pain. But I really want to emphasize to those people, you should not champion giving into your wants, and realistically, you're not actually still getting what you want. Fulfillment is what you want, because a lot of these buyers who buy super optioned, mega spec'd out vehicles, they're some of the first people to get buyer's remorse.
What's the payment?
$734.
Ooh.
I know. Yeah. I have recently thought about selling it.
Oh, really? When'd you get it?
A year ago.
Wow. When did the regrets sit in? We're like, I got to get rid of this thing.
Within a few months. So I'm close to retirement and I'm not ready.
I'm getting rid of my nice truck to drive a 2010 Suburban.
I ain't gonna lie though. There's one thing about my car too. I low-key did have buyer's remorse about my car. But I think the reason I have buyer's remorse about my car is because I have a Charger and I'm black with dreads. And I just feel like I think when you think of a Charger, like, or at least a lot of people think of a Charger, they think about somebody who looks like me. So I think the biggest reason I have buyer's remorse about my car is because, like, I just hate feeding into that stereotype so much. You know what I mean? So I always tell my people, like, if I was to do it again, I would just get a Honda. Just so I wouldn't stand out. And then, you know, like, I don't know if it's still going on as much as it was. Like, people would get, like, Mopars and like, really cause a big scene with it. They was blocking out interstates, all that type of stuff. So I think I didn't want to, like, people to think I was part of that crowd because I just don't do things like that. So.
I'm honestly having a little bit of regret regarding the finances for this thing. I honestly don't think I can afford it. Sort of want to bring it back.
Jeez, okay. What's going on?
The financing on this thing is a little bit too steep. I know we went over all the paperwork.
Yes.
But I'm regretting that decision. Seeing what you guys can do in your good graces are letting me return this truck and just wash everything.
Yeah, that's kind of a tough one there. Unfortunately, you know, especially in the state of Georgia, there is no cooling off period. As far as the good graces go, we don't even own that vehicle anymore. Now a bank owns that vehicle.
But yeah, it's not just these comments either. You can see plenty of people who can't control their desire, and that's why they end up on Caleb Hammer's show.
I'm thinking of getting a Tacoma.
No. Nope. You're driving the beater until it's dead.
I think I deserve a Tacoma.
I need to make sure you agree with me.
This guy's the audacity to say, I deserve this truck. You don't deserve anything other than our basic needs. Okay, for the modern world, especially Americans living in a car-centric hellscape, you could argue transportation is now also a necessity in modern human life since, yes, clothing, shelter, and food are all necessities, but you need money to buy food these days, and you get money by getting a job, and to get to your job, you need transportation. So I will actually consider transportation a necessity. So yes, you do deserve transportation, but that just means something that moves. My Royal Enfield does that, and I'm blessed that my city recently has greatly expanded its cycling network where I can now go on a 50-mile journey around my entire county without ever having to touch a road. It's great exercise too. Now, of course, I will say if you need to carry things for your work, your family,
bro, I don't care. I get it's great exercise out there, bro. I'm not riding a bike to work. You can keep it.
Family or recreation, these MFs absolutely can still make do on a cheaper truck. Straight up, a work van, an old used truck, and by old, it could even be 15 years old. You can still spend like 20 grand. No one deserves a brand new Tacoma Ram 2500 or Ford Raptor. And by work, I do mean like actual work, not cosplaying as a blue collar guy like this next clown.
Who the f has a Ram 2500?
It's a diesel truck.
Great. It costs $1,275 a month.
That's correct.
You bring in $3,333. A third of your income goes to this truck.
Brother, $1,200 and you make 3,000. Like, I think he said 3,000. Bro, you got to think about that. He does that. Then he gets rent. Then he pays bills. Bro probably got like $200 after that, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Bro, see, this the situation I'm talking about, bro. Do not put yourself in a hole just because you want a new truck that bad. Bro, your car note should never be a third of all your finances. Come on, bro. Do better.
I do a lot of driving.
Every other country has figured out that you don't need a supersized wagon. Like the truck bed in all these eras throughout even the start of trucks in this country, not only have they stayed the same, they've actually shrunk and the cabins have gotten better.
I've seen it.
Like, this comment absolutely railed him. I do a lot of driving. That's why I bought this car. Brother, any other vehicle could have solved that issue.
I didn't even think about it. And he says diesel. That's not even including gas. This brother's pockets are hurting.
If he just wanted to drive, a compact sedan can do that. You get a truck to carry things. A lot of things, mind you. He makes $3,300 a month, but he pays $1,300 on his truck payment alone. That's not including insurance, gas, tire, wear and tear, and other expenses. He does make extra cash on the side from his side gigs using the truck.
So there is a caveat to that.
Caveat. This better be a big caveat.
It's decent. I do get a vehicle stipend.
How much?
$600.
That is decent. Why not just use that for, why not get a $600 car payment? By the way, is not an insignificant amount of money. Why not just, or an insignificant car? Why don't you just get a car that's $600 and then it's a free freaking car?
But what's crazy is he basically could have gotten a free truck with the $600 a month vehicle stipend that his company gives him. That buys a very nice truck still, by the way. Like, look at what $500 a month got this guy.
DR2 and my car payment's $500 a month.
I don't know much about trucks, but I'm pretty sure.
Bro, like, are we really not going to use, and that's people's problems. They try to get money like that and use it as a discount rather than just trying to pay for the whole thing. Because I ain't going to lie, that, like he said, I would have thought the same thing. You get a $600 a month car stipend, bro. I'm getting the best vehicle that I can for $600 a month. So it could be free and I don't pay anything. Or even less than that, bro. Just knowing me, I'm going to try and find a vehicle for less money than that so I can just pocket the change. But to each his own, I guess.
Sure, ZR2 is still a really, really cool truck. That's a 50 grand truck, by the way, with a $500 a month car payment, and that would have been basically free under this guy's stipend. You're telling me that that truck can't do the same job as his nearly 100 grand Ram 2500 diesel when most blue-collar Americans in the 90s were doing the same job? It's a lawn care job, by the way. So like towing a trailer with lawnmowers and stuff, that exact job was possible with trucks half the size with less than half the horsepower and torque several decades ago. What changed, right? Did lawnmowers really get that much heavier? I don't think so. I think a ZR2 would have done the job just fine. Or whatever truck of his choice that was in the 50 to 60 grand territory would have literally been free. Crazy. Anyways, he mentions he can also write off the mileage for his taxes, which is why he chooses to drive this diesel truck everywhere he goes, even in spite of the wear and tear mileage.
You didn't pay last year's taxes, right. I just remember.
Yeah. So whenever I applied...
What's up with people on this show and not paying taxes?
What is with side gigs lately and people waiting years to report their income? Like,
hey, you know, if you don't want to file taxes, that's one thing. But why do you go on the internet and admit to not filing taxes? I mean, just me personally, if I was doing something like that, I think I would keep it between, you know what I'm saying, me and me. You know what I mean? Don't commit to crimes on video. I don't know if you've seen a lot of rappers lately, but that usually doesn't work out too well.
Even the Joker knows not to scum the IRS like that. If you actually report your income, even yearly, like file it, they can't go after you after 3 years. But if you never report your income, then they can indefinitely audit you because you've just lied to them for several years. Like, that's why you should still file it. Don't just be like, that's future me's problem. Oh, it's about to be future you's problem, all right? Like, the reality is, this guy didn't want to have a side hustle to make more money. He just wanted a nice truck and then justify it with this half-assed excuse. Briefly circling back to wants, desires, and hedonism, life gets so much better when you conquer your desires, not the other way around. Giving into them isn't heroic, it's pathetic. I hate the TikTok trend of, you don't have a spending problem, you have an income problem. Nah, y'all got spending problems. Income isn't exactly growing on trees right now. Factually and statistically speaking, jobs and how much they're meaningfully paying us is really hard to come by in this economy. I mean, look at the entire video I dedicated to this subject, overworked and underpaid epidemic. By the way, it is now available in all regions. So it was actually blocked in certain regions when it first came out. So if you weren't able to see it, it should be seeable to you now. Go ahead and click on my channel and you'll find it there. Go watch it later, all right? While we're here though, why not subscribe and drop a like, especially if you're better by reducing your desires. That is the dumbest misconception that has ever been created by the internet. One of the comments you guys left a few videos ago was, you know you've matured when you've stopped looking at cars and don't visit car dealerships anymore, and you don't even feel like a pull, like from the salesman or from—
This a real thing y'all be feeling, bro? Like, maybe it's because I've never, like, legitimately been a car guy, but I never, like, looked at a new car and was like, oh my God, I gotta pull into that dealership and test drive it and see all of its features. Like, I mean, like, maybe when I have in my head that, you know, I need a new vehicle, I'll do it. But I'm not about to just be window shopping just to window shop. I usually prefer to window shop online if I have no intention of buying stuff. And I'm not saying that, I mean, I don't like window shopping. Because, I mean, I do like window shopping. I just don't like window shopping in person because I don't like taking up somebody's time and have them thinking I'm about to buy a car if I have absolutely no intention on buying it. But I do window shop a lot for, like, tech stuff. I ain't gonna lie, like, I'll be in there trying on some headphones or whatever with absolutely no intention of ever buying it. But I just want to see what it sounds like. You know what I'm saying? Or the new phone. I play with the phone. And that's how I know the last 7 phones is just like the other ones. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's a bad thing to window shop, but if you, like, legitimately just see something new and you just have this uncontrollable desire just to buy it, maybe it's worth for you paying for entertainment with no ads.
the dealership. Buying something new doesn't make me happy anymore. Keeping what I have, then spending or saving cash for other things makes me infinitely happier than dumping 500 grand on a supercar. Tying this back, the moment I finally reeled in my desire and said I wouldn't be happier by wanting more or actually owning a supercar, you don't have an income problem. You indeed do have a spending problem. I faced myself, took responsibility, became an adult, and controlled myself. I have genuinely never been happier since that moment from 2022 onwards. There is a reason entire cultural philosophies like Buddhism are built on reeling in your desire. It works. It's about conquering your internalized insecurity. And a lot of young 20-somethings I used to know, including myself, we used to say we don't care what others think, but like crabs in a bucket, we all rush into debt the moment we felt our car was too lame, especially in the automotive side of YouTube. Oh, that's a can of worms for a different video. This is about overpriced trucks. Anyways, move on to some hope core to cheer ourselves up in chapter 3.
I would never finance a car in my entire life.
Guys, I paid off my truck today, finally. I'm here at Wells Fargo to pull out $250 to finally pay off my truck.
Thankfully, not everyone on TikTok is...
I ain't gonna lie. It is a great feeling. Like I told y'all, my car paid off. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to... I don't think I want to get another one for like 10 years. Every time somebody asks me, do I want a new car, bro? Nah, bro. I'm driving this one quite literally until the wheels fall off and are rolling down the highway, bro. It's great. It's great not having to worry about a car payment. And I mean, I think it helps because, I mean, I wouldn't say my car is like the worst looking car ever. I mean, it's not the nicest. But, you know, like, it feels great to get into a car that you own, not the bank.
Brain dead, as
That's
there
the
are
real
also
play.
plenty of owners who drive 20-plus-year-old trucks that are paid off. And apologies to any millennial watching who's gonna comment, that's 2005, Bladed, that's like 10 years old. No, bro, I'm so sorry to tell you, that is actually 21 years ago now. It is literally legal drinking age. But guess what? We love to see it. Nothing is a bigger flex in your 20s than having a paid off vehicle.
I paid my car off. 6 long years of, it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling.
Like I mentioned earlier, for younger Gen Z, generally don't take shame in taking a small loan of 10 to 15 grand, as long as you know you're going to pay off the vehicle. Tell yourself, hey, I'm going to get there. Like, I get it. You won't just spawn in with a paid off vehicle in your 20s, but give yourself even just 3 years time, and you're going to be just like all these other people in these used clips who don't have car payments anymore because they either recently finished it or bought it in full, and they just simply chose not to get another because not having a car payment anymore is a wonderful feeling. Like, remember when commercials were actually encouraging owners to keep old trucks? I'm serious. Here's an old commercial that used to air showing an owner choosing to spend more on fixing his old truck than buying a new one.
I got good news for you, kid. You're getting a new truck.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's gonna cost more to fix than it's worth. Besides, the truck's older than you.
Just fix it.
You know, while I do feel like this ad is very, commendable for them to put this type of message out there, how does this actually benefit Chevy in any way by not encouraging anybody to buy anything? Like, this is something I think I would see from like a mechanic, not the people who are actively making more vehicles every year that they are hoping to sell. I mean, like I said, I think it's commendable, but I just feel like this is bad PR. Like, yeah, like you could fix the car, but we don't want to actively like persuade you into not buying it. That's kind of bad business, in my opinion.
To me, this is still the most sincere and most genuine form of car enthusiasm. Can we go back to this culture? Like, instead of buying all these new G80s, GT3 RSs, and supercar LARPing BS, can we just go back to actually buying a car, keeping that car, modifying that car, repairing that car? The reason I bring this up is because it highlights how ridiculous it is that these clowns on TikTok are taking these 200 grand truck loans and supercar loans to do something that barely qualifies as a side hustle. These guys would make more money using their trucks to deliver Uber Eats than making the same 100 Miami LARP edits for 3 cents per RPM that we're all fed up with seeing. You guys are literally made in a factory. Sorry for using second person so much. Not you guys, the audience. You guys are genius. These TikTok clowns, though. Ooh. Speaking of which, oops, looks like we ran out of hopium. Back to your weekly scheduled Doom post. And if you're enjoying this week's Doom post so far, then make sure to...
Minimum monthly payment of $857.75.
We couldn't fit our kids in the Elantra he had.
Come on.
Like, genuinely, I cannot believe people who still think having 2 kids suddenly means they need to go out and buy the largest civilian-grade infantry fighting vehicle.
Because she doesn't believe in used cars.
The Hyundai Elantra, we couldn't fit the 2 kids in
You used to have a Ford F-150 at 0% interest, but you made them...
She doesn't believe in used. I'm sorry, are we making buying cars a religion now? The f you mean you don't believe in used cars? This lady right here is...
I ain't gonna lie. I do kind of agree. It depends on the car, though. It depends on the brand. Like, certain cars we know are built to last. They just have a better reputation. I can see you buying them used, but it's just like certain other ones is like are known to break down more. Even like the car I got, like a Dodge, bro, I would not buy a Dodge used. I know a lot of people who do or who have and have, felt pain behind doing that. So I do actually agree with certain brands. I won't say used in general, but certain brands, I do see why people would not buy used.
It's what Big Automotive loves. It's not that people like this don't believe in owning a used car, it's that they think they deserve something brand new, and sometimes even defer the blame to someone or something else, in this case, her children. Oh, but I have 2 kids. They need this truck. I don't want to stuff them in a little compact sedan. lady, I doubt your kids care what cars you drive them around in. Like, this goes for really most parents, by the way. I sure as hell didn't when I was 5. I didn't even know my family was poor until I got made fun of. Hey, he grew up eating spaghetti that was cut and his mom would put cheese on it, and that he called that mac and cheese. Because yes, I'm not making that up. All the struggle meals I ate, and I unironically not f***ing with you guys, and I still f*** with this. I don't care. That's what I ate literally going up until 12 years old. Until finally, like, you know, you could eat high school lunches when I was 14 onwards. And it was at the time when I was in high school, it's like $2.25, $2.75. And my parents were a little bit better off then where they could pay that. So I was able to eat a lot more like actual substantial variation with foods. It's funny, a lot of kids hate American high school lunches because of Michelle Obama and being Gen Z.
One of them, bro. Our school lunches was terrible. Especially the COVID year, bro. The COVID year, I don't know what happened. I think it's because they had to be prepackaged, but bro, that lunch was, ugh. That's all I could say about that. Just, ugh. But I ain't gonna lie. But when they used to have the red beans and the chicken, oh yeah, I was the first one in line. No, I ain't gonna stay. I was the first one in line when they had the chicken and the red beans, though.
I grew up in the post-Michelle Obama era. I did not get to see the fine dining that millennials experience. But generally, I never thought I was poor. Sorry, we got so off topic, but like, I did not care what the heck vehicle my parents were driving us around in. I used to just look out the window all the time, and I would like pretend there was a dirt bike riding next to us and it was just doing sick tricks. My fellow Americans, can we stop normalizing buying 60 to 100 grand massive?
The only way I can see you justifying a bigger car purchase is if like quite literally you have like 4 or 5 kids and they like physically cannot fit in the car. You know, then I understand. Like, you might need to get a minivan. You might need to get an SUV with that lit third row. And that's kind of like, even like when we were kids, sometimes I would have to stay with my cousins. And it would sometimes be like 5 to 6 kids in one car. So yeah, I could see them justifying that purchase. But like for 2-3 kids, bro, y'all could thug it out for a 30-minute car ride being next to each other. Like, bro, when I was a kid, I didn't care. I literally never cared. And most of the time, if I'm with my cousins, even my brother's way older than me though, so I didn't really have that experience. But my cousins was the closest thing I had. I didn't mind at all. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, I'm having fun if we bunched up together too, because we probably playing a game or something. You know what I mean? So, yeah, don't make these purchases because you think your kids just care that much. They probably don't.
Brand new infantry fighting vehicles just to take our kids to school in. Americans in the past and many countries today are doing just fine raising families of 3, 4, even 5+ kids with a wagon, a sedan, or even a hatchback. How did we get here? The average suburban mom is not ready for the absolute giga chat of mothers that exist in India and Southeast Asia who carry their entire family on their Royal Enfield or Honda Super Cup. Another huge W for Royal Enfield. Royal Enfield owners cannot stop winning. Our wallets keep filling and our wheels keep spinning. It brings a lot of enjoyment when you decouple your life from constantly caring about how expensive your truck or car is. But of course, plenty of people don't care about that, and it's fun to make fun of them, which is why that's gonna be it for this video, and why you shouldn't take stupid.
You know, this is probably gonna be a longer video, and if you stuck to the end, bro, you really just gotta subscribe, bro. You gonna watch a 40-minute video, almost 50-minute video, and not subscribe to it? You got to, bro. But yeah, if you took one thing from it though, please don't make stupid car payments or stupid car choices. You know, let's save money in the big 2026. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment what your car note is, and then yeah, thank you for tuning in. See y'all next time.